Wow, a very, very good evening to you all viewers. Welcome to Practical Talk with Floris Lyman. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Welcome to Practical Talk with Floris Lyman. We welcome you to the special broadcast today. Obviously, this program runs every 2 Sundays, end of the month, but I always come to the special broadcast if I want to bring if I grab hold of someone and I don't want to miss the opportunity of catching up with them. So you're welcome. Kindly please do us a favor. Go to Facebook, Practical Talk with Floris Lyman, chat with Nenneh Alice on Facebook and on YouTube. Please go and subscribe to our channels and follow us also on those handles. So my name is Pastor Floris Lyman and I'm the host, but I am here today with another fantastic woman um, by the name of Nenneh Alice James. She's married, she's been taken. She's Nenneh Alice James. So I'm just going to ask our multimedia to please, before I come back to introduce her, as you can see, multimedia, please just put back the flyer so we can see the reason why we are here. Thank you so much. Yeah, am I going to be able to see the flyer? Now, so as you can see, I am on with Nenneh Alice James. She's the host of Chat with Nenneh all the way from Sierra Leone. All the way from Sierra Leone. Nenneh Alice she's a program specialist. I think I've memorized most of it in my head. um, Multimedia, thank you so much. You can put us back. She is She is a motivational speaker. She is a feminist. She is a writer. Yes, and she is also a fundraiser. And she has so many things that she is passionate about. I just wanted to read. By the way, I went to university with her. She was my senior in university. Yeah, I have to
Remind
say
her.
that. I have to say that, it's amazing that we've all gone into different things in life and every now and then we bump into each other. So she's here on her holiday, and we just wanted to seize this opportunity to introduce her to other people, Sierra Leoneans and other nationals living in this diaspora. Even though she's in Sierra Leone, you can still connect and follow some of the things that she does. So Nenneh is currently the head of programs at Forut. Forut is an organization that aims to empower men, women, and children to fight poverty, corruption, injustice, alcohol, and drug abuse through social mobilization, advocacy, capacity building, and provision of services for long-term development. She's loaded. So prior to this, she has served as programs manager at the British Council in Sierra Leone, an organization that commits itself to ensuring that there is no unjustified discrimination in the recruitment, retention, training, and development of staff, partners, and communities on the basis of age, disability, gender, including transgender, HIV, AIDS status, marital status, including civil partnership, pregnancy and maternity or political opinion. She also has served as a regional manager for the Northern Regional Program for Action Aid. This is in the north of Sierra Leone, Bombali District. She was a manager, HIV and AIDS coordinator, and women's rights focal person. She has worked with ActionAid Sierra Leone for nearly 15 years. Wow. Both at national and local level. She also holds a degree of Bachelor of Arts from Frobe College, where I went to as well, in geography, and a Master of Science degree in public health from the University of East London. We are actually, streaming live today in the East London area.
Yeah.
What a nostalgia. She also went to do Masters of Science in Strategic Human Resource at the University of Roehampton, UK. She's also been working in the field of human rights with over 20 years of vast experience and knowledge working on gender, particularly women's rights issues, programming, budgeting, auditing, and results-based accountability. Wow, the woman is loaded. For more than 20 years, and she has acquired a wealth of results-based skills and experience in human rights-based programming, people's management, and the resource mobilization experience. Now, we're coming to her passion. As a passionate and results-oriented personality, she's a program specialist, a fundraiser, and a feminist. Some people might say, okay, because he's feminist, we're not coming as men. No, you need to know it's more than that. She has proven records and skills of working with local groups and assisting them to form coalitions, networks around issues of accountable governance. Through this, she has supported communities, the government, civil society organizations, and colleagues to develop their ability and potential in organizing themselves, in responding to problems and needs which they share. This has seen the establishment of active social justice and helped improve the quality of community life. She has experience working in Sierra Leone during the 10 years rebel war, which if you're not from Sierra Leone, those of us
cannot relate.
You cannot relate, but I can relate to that because there's so much to that. We'll talk about that later. But yes, 10 years of rebel war as a humanitarian and project officer. And she drew her strength from a focused and dynamic leadership style that is based on people management in a multinational and diverse setting, strategic leadership, optimization of time and resources with a goal to get it done. Oh boy, my English had to be on point today. So, welcome.
Thank you so
Nenneh
much.
Alice.
Thank you so much, Floris. I'm so delighted to be here. It's an awesome opportunity for me. And just to also let you know that I am a big fan of Practical Talk with Floris. And I'm so, so happy to be here.
Thank you. Yeah. Wow. So, that's your CV.
I know, right?
So, aside of your profession, because we've heard about everything that you do, plus you are a mother,
a wife,
and a wife,
a career woman,
and a business. I'm sure you are an entrepreneur, so you've not added that to it. And by the way, her husband was also my senior in university. He was one of the respected gentlemen in our time in uni. Anyway, how many children have you got? Because you look so good.
Yeah, so I've got both biological and adopted children. So I have 4 children already.
Oh, wow. Wow. Well done. Well done for that. So, because apart from all of this, how have you managed to find time to have your own talk show? So, by the way, check her out on Instagram and on Facebook and on YouTube. You need to follow her. She's doing an amazing work. She's impacting the lives of people in Sierra Leone, and alongside that now, she has developed her passion. And some of the things that she's doing, that's what she has packaged as well and brought into the show that she does, Chat with Nenneh Alice. You need to follow her, please, on Facebook. You can check it now. Go on YouTube, subscribe. We have to support the great work that, one another is doing. It's not only if you can't give, just by clicking subscribe, you've contributed. Thank you so much. So, Mrs. James, yes, if you don't mind, on Nenneh Alice, we'll be swapping. Apart from your career and everything, now you have added a chat show to that resume of yours. Tell us, or tell the viewers, how have you managed to find time to come about having this chat show? What's your passion? What drove you to doing that?
Okay, viewers. Actually, I've been in the field of, activism for over 20 years, just like Floris mentioned. And I have, gathered a lot of experience. And most of the experience I have gathered is around my passion. And so in 2020, at the end of 2020, I was, seated with my kids, and we started talking about this. And they said, "Oh, Mama, it's time you have your own talk show, because you've done a lot of work around the country, and now, the level you are, you should be transferring those information to other people. So it would be good if you have your own talk show." So, I dreamt about it, I thought about it, and, and later on decided that, yeah, it's a good thing. So we had chat with Nenneh Alice, and the purpose of that particular talk show is to bring the voices of women to the fore. It's everything women, promoting women in their various careers, women who are doing very, very well in their individual, careers, so that they can come, have a platform to express themselves and talk about themselves and the work that they are doing. And it's also about us, talking about legislations and policies that are there to advance and promote women's rights. So it's also a platform where, if we're working on a particular policy issue or a particular legislation, Chat with Nenneh Alice is a platform that you can come, and discuss it, and talk about it. And then just promoting women in every spheres of life. So that's the main focus of Chat with Nenneh Alice. And I want to encourage all of you to go to my YouTube channel and then subscribe and like some of the videos. We now have over 80 videos, and we have had so many people who have shared their views, shared their experiences on various things that they're doing. And, I'm so delighted that I have the opportunity to offer that platform to people who actually need it.
Wow, thank you so much.
Yeah.
So, it's open for people to come and discuss current issues, especially, when we're talking about, we have to be realistic
Yeah,
here
I know.
in our typical African setting.
Yes.
When it comes to fighting for the rights of women and, men, please don't be offended today. Um, there is a huge gap. For example, here in Europe, you have the men complaining that this setting is more women and children center. It's more focused on women and children's welfare, and it feels like the men are left out. Because if from the moment you go to the hospital to have your baby, it's the woman. They ask you for your own surname. It's later on, and when you go to the registrar, that's when you are asked if you want to add the father's name to it. So men do feel sometimes like they are left out. It's like a man has to put themselves forward 5 times more than the woman. But that's different compared to typical African setting, and where, we have to be honest, a lot of women lose their right to almost everything, even to their education. So you're saying that platform is open for people to come and talk about those things, talk about changes that are taking place, talking about the legislations that are happening. Yeah. Yeah. So what do you have to say to that?
Well, I just want to first of all say thanks to those women's rights activists who, even before we were born, did a lot of work to ensure that florists living in the UK can enjoy all of that, and even people who are very close to me can enjoy that particular protection. And in Sierra Leone, at this point, that is what we are fighting for. I know you've heard that we've had the gender laws, the one that has to do with the evolution of estate, divorce, the other one that has to do with the protection of women's rights, and then there is this other one on the Sexual Offences Act, and at the moment we are working on the gender equality and women's empowerment bill, and it's in Parliament already. So we are also trying to put in place all of those, borrowing inspirations and borrowing your experiences from other countries, and putting them into those things. And we are also working very hard. So children that will come, maybe the
And
next 2 or 3
generations.
generations that will come, will also benefit from that, just like how, you guys are benefiting from it at the moment. So we want to say thanks to those that did that work. But the thing is, we just need to continue the hard work and just continue to support women who are in the forefront, making those advocacy moves and also trying to protect the rights of women and children.
Wow, thank you so much. You just mentioned something that there are already women in the forefront. Again, talking about this thing. And I know times have changed, and with regards to allowing some, because you have some women who want to go into politics. You have some women, not every woman just wants to stay at home. By the way, if that's your choice, you just want to stay at home and it's okay with you, that's your cup of tea. It is fine. Society should not stigmatize you. It's just that I believe that you have more than just being a mom. You have your skills, you have everything. So even while you're at home, there are things that you can
Flores,
do.
can
You're
I just
empowered.
also let you know that in the women's rights world, there is what we call unpaid care. Unpaid care work that women have been doing. If I as a woman decide to stay at home, but then I'm married and I have kids, the amount of work that I do, if you try to put that on a scale to weigh, you will not be able to pay me. Because
Sure.
I look after the kids, I prepare food, I study the kids, I do school runs, and I, go, and get groceries, and I do a lot of work, as compared, if you want to compare to somebody who goes to work in the morning just like me. And you are even a security because you are the first to wake up and you are the last to go to bed. And even before you go to bed, you check if the windows are closed, if the doors are properly closed, if the kids are in bed and everything. And if you hear a little noise in a particular area, you will get up to, to check all of that.
I think it's just an instinctive thing of a woman
yes,
and a mother.
And in a typical, African setting, you know what it means. You wake up in the morning, you are the first to wake up. You have to ensure that everybody has warm water or have water to take their bath. While maybe daddy is in bed still listening to the news and you are out there preparing meals, preparing water and everything. And in some setting, sorry, my male folks, some men will even want you, to even take their towel, their soap, their paste and their brush to the bathroom, and they just walk into the bathroom and have their shower. And when they are done, they'll leave everything there and want you to take it back to where it is. So those are some of the the things. And so if I as a woman decide to stay home, and all the things that I do whilst I'm home, you will not be able to pay me. And we want to begin to compare, to look at that and how that affects our GDP. Because those are some of the labor costs that people do not cost.
You've just touched on something.
Yeah.
So again, this is an awareness and an encouragement for our men, for our boys. Maybe it starts from even that boy child growing up to appreciate your mother, appreciate your sister, appreciate your auntie, even your grandmother that you have met for the hard work. We are not saying kudos. We know the men are fantastic. We are fantastic men out there doing hard work, but we're just comparing the level of work that the woman has to do.
Yeah.
And on top of that, you now have a woman that does all of that, and yet still they've been abused, kicked about like a punch of, sack. So I see where you come from.
I also want to say that there are some men who have been very, very supportive in ensuring that women's rights are protected. And I want to say, to recognize those men. I want to give shout outs to those men. And some of us who are in a marriage relationship with a male counterpart, we have also benefited some of those supports, them giving us, the leverage to do some of the things that will help to build our status. So we have very good men out there who have helped us to ensure that women's rights are protected and women's rights are advanced. But that notwithstanding, we still have women who are in situations that are very volatile and situations that makes them so vulnerable, where it's either their male counterparts, making them to be so vulnerable and to be in situations where they are afraid. I want to give an example, like, for instance, walking in the streets at night. I'm not too familiar with this setting, but the Sierra Leone setting, I'm familiar with that. Sometimes as a woman, you are afraid to walk along the streets because when you walk along the streets, they see you as somebody who is unprotected and they can make advances
At you.
to you. In the evening after work, I normally do my long walk, from my house to some places.
That's why you're looking so good.
So when I'm doing this long walk and I'm in my working attire, you see people shouting, "Hey, the mommy you did it? Hey, where did they go on? Hey, where the power?" They begin to distract you from what you want to do. Sending all those flimsy jabs at you, and then you see yourself as somebody who is so working in the society on the streets that are so unprotected. And long before this time, the women's rights movement have been talking about unsafe cities for women. And women need to be protected. We need to walk on the streets, be you in Europe or be you in Africa, in a way that you feel so safe. And I should not be walking, minding my business, and you are distracting me or trying to make advances at me. Those are some of the issues, as women's rights activists that we try to bring to the fore, and we want to have conversation around those issues so that we have that awareness and women have the awareness, and people will give us support when we want to advocate on some of those issues.
Wow. So thank you so much just for clarifying. As we say again, this is not against anything against men, and I'm sure even our men as well can understand. You for our men, they had mothers.
Yeah.
You might have, as a man or a young man or an adult man, you've had a mother, you've had a sister, who has been in that situation where they were never privileged. So things like this that you guys are campaigning for now, the amount of education you're giving in the community, the amount of empowerment, the amount of awareness that you're creating to people in the community. So, I think the future is bright.
Yeah.
Things have changed, I must say. I've been to Sierra Leone, not often, but on the times that I've gone, I would say I've seen some improvement with regards to women's rights and
Yeah, there now there is a lot of sensitization, and I'm sure you've heard that the president during the African Conference on Sexual Health and Rights, declared that his cabinet has approved the safe motherhood, the safe motherhood policy, and it will go to Parliament. It will be presented to Parliament, and we are hopeful that before this tenure of presidency, we'll be able to have the safe motherhood bill, because the safe motherhood bill deals with the thing that has to do with unsafe safe abortion. Before this time, and I know maybe even before COVID, you've heard about series of rape cases that we have had in Sierra Leone.
Yes,
We have people raping
yes.
a 2-year-old, raping 6-month-old children, and you heard about the case of Khadija.
Little Khadija.
Little Khadija.
Yes,
That was so
rest in peace.
pathetic, and it sends goosebumps all over Sierra Leoneans. And people came out and started advocating strongly. And fortunately for us, we have a president who was able to declare rape as a national emergency. And whilst that was done, we had the Sexual Offences Act being reviewed and passed into Parliament, which was a plus. We also now have a special court that is dealing with rape cases in Sierra Leone, which we are also very much happy about. And now, because before this time, we have the safe abortion bill that went to Parliament and went to the president for his presidential accent. But other campaigners came on board and they campaigned against it, and it came back to Parliament. So now it has, gotten the level of emergency or urgency that it needs, and then it's going to be presented in Parliament. And we are so much, excited and happy that we have the president who has so much power giving his support to that.
Stamp on it.
Yeah.
Wow. Talking about the rape cases, obviously, rape happens here, even in Europe. It happens everywhere. But I know you putting all these things in place, all these measures in place. Well, since the last rape case that was aired, because maybe there is so many happening, but it's just that one that became popular. What's the improvement in that area?
Well, actually, we have a culture that deals with early marriage, which is very, very harmful for young girls. And sometimes when we are having this kind of conversation, we should first of all go to the root causes of this. Okay. In Sierra Leone, for example, when you are pregnant and you go to the hospital to give birth, if you give birth to a boy child, you pay more money. If you give birth to a girl child, you pay lesser. That is where the discrimination
Why
starts.
is that?
I don't know. That's where the discrimination starts. So growing up now, and if you are so unfortunate as a girl child and you belong to a particular community or a particular setting where they prioritize the education of a boy child, and you're in a very poor situation, the possibility for the boys to go to school and you stay at home, it's also very good. So imagine they've paid less for you at delivery, and now they are taking a decision because funds are not enough, and they are prioritizing the education of the boy. Okay, so you grow up in that society, and also imagine your mom at the age of 15, she got married and she gave birth to you. And now you are growing in a society, you're growing up in that family where they prioritized the education of your brother, and you were not prioritized.
Well,
and you are struggling there.
Is that still because of societal thing that has to do with the woman? You have to be at home.
No, well,
you need to be married.
So many reasons. First, poverty. And secondly, services are not, in some of those communities, some of the public services do not reach there. But thankful now we have the free quality education where at the age of 6, you can go to school. But even before this time, and maybe in some communities, we are still having these challenges. Okay, so your mom at the age of 15 gave birth to you. So you coming up, you know that the possibility for you to be married off at the age of 15 is also very great if you are in that family, because your dad married your mom at 15.
Wow.
So, and then you grow up by 15, 16, they get you initiated into the secret society, and they marry you off. And now you have to compete in a world where your brother went to school and now he's so educated and you are there. So how can you be empowered? How can you be able to take decisions, that affects your life?
Because some decisions have already been chosen.
Yes, even before you get into adulthood. So you get those challenges. So for the issue of rape, because we have issues of shelter in Sierra Leone, there are so many other issues, but let me just use the example of shelter. If you are in this house and it's a 2-bedroom flat, your mom is there, your dad is there, your uncle is there, your auntie is there, your this is there, your cousin, your this, your that, all those extended relations are there. And you as a girl child coming up in that particular household, the possibility for you to be sexually harassed is there because you are poor, food is not prepared on time, and there's this uncle who maybe is an apprentice for a particular vehicle or goes out to do some menial jobs and comes home and he's got money. The possibility for you to be sexually harassed in that home because you are hungry is also very good. Or even if it's not in your home, if you are growing up in a home next door, the possibility for this man to be Mr. Big Shot, who has the money to sexually harass you, it's also very great, And if you listen to stories of women, particularly back home, like I said, it's a setting that I'm very much familiar with. Some of us will not want to talk about it, but you will hear people, because I have, I have done lots of researches and I have gone to know some of these root causes. People will tell you, at the age of 10, I was kissed by my uncle. The person that first tampered with me.
My son is seeing this as if it's a shock.
Was my dad's friend. And you look at those ages, they are tender ages. You say, my uncle taught me how to kiss. But we will not want to talk about it because now we are all adults and we are all doing well in our various careers. We will not want to talk about it. Yeah. But those are the things, that are leading to some of these cases that are improving.
Yeah.
So we also need to change our perception.
I had people who advanced at me at a very young age.
Yeah, we have those stories as well, and they are all over the place, but we will not want to talk about it.
Because the thing is, even when people used to tell their parents hardly believe their child. And because of shame and stigma, most parents just close your mouth as a child. Don't say anything. And this is not the time not to say anything, because that child is going to grow up with trauma, with lots and lots of trauma that they have to deal with in their adulthood. So again, I guess all this is part of the awareness that you're creating,
the
advocacy, the education that you're giving. You touched on one thing, because that's one of the factors as well, of depriving the rights of a girl since they are young, especially with this education thing, that you should be home getting ready to be married at a young age. Their bodies are not even formed properly. You see some of them having children, not even 1, 2, 3, before they are 20. And when you are talking about the lifespan, you wonder why a lot of people die at such a young age, even in Africa. It's as a result of the toll that has taken place on them from that stage where they've been working so hard and everything. They don't have their rights to carry out certain things. They've just been just controlled in a way. You touched on one thing, which is one of the factors, the FGM. And I know in this part of the world where we live, the moment you hear that now, for anybody, you have to dial the police immediately. And that's a number one safeguarding and child protection case in countries like this. How has that improved? Because I know that clashes, the cultural things attached to that clashes with government rules. How has that improved back home?
Well, because of the level of awareness now and the various legislations that have been passed, so much awareness is going on that children should reach the age of consent before they should, those kind of things should happen. And so it's a little bit minimal now, but if you go to rural communities, very, very rural communities, it's still ongoing,
happening.
And there's another thing that I want to talk about, and that's, we're having a conversation on women and everything that has to do with women. It has to do with sex. And this is something that we do not want to talk about. We don't talk to our kids about sex, and most of the time we demonize sex.
It is real.
Yes.
And it is happening.
And because we demonize sex, our kids now are going out to have information about sex.
Places.
And when they get this information about sex, they want to carry it out, And I had a friend who was telling me that when she was growing up, if she stays out late, the mom, when she comes home, the mom will say, "Oh, you don't go for my business, eh? You don't go for my business."
Please,
and then
let me interpret for the viewers. Sorry, we're talking. Sometimes you have to say it in our pidgin language so that
it goes down well.
So what she was saying, that when the girl comes, I think my mom done that to me.
Yeah, sometimes when you go out and you come, they will tell you you've gone out to meet a man or maybe to get sex.
Sometimes you search, you question that. Oh, have you been out doing that?
Yes.
You question, they smell you to see if you have the smell of a man on your body.
Yeah. So my friend told me, she said, so at a particular time, she just walked up to the mom. So, Mom, what is this thing that you're talking about? Because you always tell me I've gone out, to meet men and, about me having sex. What is it you're talking about? And the mom was saying, those are not a conversation for you and I to have, But in this current setting, it's a conversation that we must have with our children. Okay? And let me give you an example. We know in some of the rural communities, and maybe even with some of our parents, the first time they had sex was when they had when they were pregnant with us.
Yes.
And the last time they had sex was when they were pregnant with our younger
with the
last child. And you look that maybe it's a period of 10 years. And then after that last child, they have gone off sex. So maybe for their lifespan, they've just had sex for just like 10 years. And even in that 10 years, there have been intervals. So they've not really enjoyed what sex is. They've not really have satisfying sex, but they have children, you know. So sometimes passing information about sex, because even them do not have information
about
so they cannot share it.
Yeah.
And until you have first-hand information about things that have to do with sex, before you can pass that on. And most women have not been able to have safe and satisfying sex. Because they are in a relationship that is very violent. And most of the time when they, they've gone through some crucibles in the marriage, and they go back to their mom, who also is the same story. The mom will say, go, if I tell you what your dad did to me, you just go and sit and say thanks be to God because you are in that relationship. So it's like a vicious circle. It goes round. But these are the things that we want to bring to the fore. These are the things that we want to say no. It should not continue like that. We must have information around sex and those taboos. I remember first time when you put a red lipstick, they will tell you are a prostitute.
Or if you're
growing up, if you are chewing gum, because me, I like chewing gum. People will say, see the way you are chewing your gum, you chewing the gum as if you are a prostitute.
If you had Jerry calls.
Yes, or if you wear short skirts. And when you move around, what you wear is what they take to define you, And those were the ways our parents try to bring us up so that we'll be afraid and to bring those were their own mechanism of protection, But now, because of the way things are going, those conversations should be open up. We should be able to open up and talk to our kids and explain to them and tell them that these are the realities so that they understand and they're able to make informed decisions.
Yep. Wow. You know what? I can testify to that. We never had those discussions with her. That was an abomination. But as an adult now, and I work with young people, and even for the benefit of my own children, we have to have those conversations. They need to know the advantages, the disadvantages. At least let them know the information out there so that a stranger is not teaching them. Because when a stranger now teaches them, they're teaching them wrongly. They're going searching because they've seen, because everything is open. You have a lot on social media, a lot on the press. There is a lot out there now that, as a parent, if you're not wise enough, if you yourself are not educated about some things, then the children are just left in a vulnerable place. And you mentioned something about sex in that relationship. Sex, like you said, most of our parents then did not enjoy sex, again, because of the mindset that surrounds the cultural thoughts about that. It was just like sex was for procreation.
And when you want to have sex, you put off the light so that you don't see my face and I don't see your face. Yes, or you do it under the duvet, under the blanket. You don't even feel free to explore your environment within which you are having sex. You close the windows. I remember somebody was telling me that they walked into their parents having sex, and the dad was so infuriated. He came out and said he's going to curse that child, because the door was closed tightly. And normally when they are having sex, they'll close the door tightly, but they forgot to close the door, and the child just walked in. Innocent child walked in upon them, and the dad became so infuriated, saying the child is so disrespectful and he's going to curse the child, and things like that. You wonder why all of that. Why should you close that door so tightly? I know, yes, you need privacy, but why should you say you're going to curse the child because of that? This is because we don't want to talk about sex,
Wow.
And people want to know. Even our parents want to know.
Wow. I want to say, I just want to say we have 18 people, watching us on YouTube. Thank you, everyone, for your contributions. Let's read some comments. Oh, my days. Apologies to our YouTube viewers. Thank you to those watching us on YouTube, those watching us on Facebook. Thank you, Princess Cole. Thank you, Frederica. Thank you, Florence. Thank you, Yaya. Thank you, Master James, the man himself. He confirmed that you're well loaded. Obviously. Marion says they're very proud of you, Alice. Yes, you are. Someone says you've been one of the big contributing factor to the growth of your organization. Well done. It's nice to have a positive feedback
Yeah.
for what you do. So the person says, thank you, Simeon. The person says, you are one woman that he's so proud of. Thank you, Alassane Jallo. Says, this is great. Finda says, women empowerment, self-reflection, and promoting women. Thank you, Rosalind Bender. Thank you, Farida, all our Facebook people. Mr. James said he's already here enjoying the show. Florence Buffy, thank you so much. Florence says you are also, she didn't say everything. No. Florence is reminding us that you are also the president of Women's Organization of the Milty Magai Memorial UMC. You've contributed greatly to your to your faith, to that aspect of your faith. Grace says, very inspirational, keep it up. Olivia Funny, thank you, great work. Take care of the man too, sis. Thank you to Orange Sierra Leone for the strong, oh, everybody's commending. Alte says you are everything. Thank you, Margaret Smith. She said, keep it up. Thank you, Lady Naomi. Well done, women of God. Simeon says, what we need for the women's rights promotion in Sierra Leone is Parliament's passing of the Gender Equality and the Women Empowerment Bill.
Are these Facebook people?
These are on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah. Abdul, yes, the examples you've mentioned tells that you know the issues on ground. I told you. Abdullah says, enjoying the program. Hawakaba says, impressive, keep it up. Yinka says, keep it up, big sis. Interesting conversations. Wow, thank you very much for the feedback that we've all had so far. Thank you.
Viewers, don't forget to go to my YouTube page and subscribe.
Thank you. Your sister is here too. Brilliant.
Hey, shout outs to you, Brilliant.
You're making
doing
us
well.
proud. Yeah, thank you.
Shout outs to all the viewers who have given positive feedback, particularly people who have given me so much support. Thanks to you, Aina. Hope you're doing well.
Mr. James, the man himself. I have to grab her, you know, she's here on holiday and, you know, we don't get these privileges all the time. Yeah. So it's just nice sometimes. And this is what my platform is for. Maybe you're in Sierra Leone, please feel free to reach out. If you're doing something that's impacting the lives of people in your community, let us connect. Also, go and subscribe to her YouTube page. She's doing such a hard work, creating this awareness. Not that she has anything against men, but men, please, let's be encouraged that you know, the same God that created you, the same God that created that woman, the same, you know.
No, actually, it's the way society. It's the way society has been, you know, dealing with both genders. You know, yeah. Sometimes they give more priority to men as compared to women, yeah. And that is why, as a feminist, I believe in equality 100%, but I also want to look at the issues of equity. So if I'm in a situation where I think women are not given that opportunity, I try to, you know, add the cushion so that they can come up and be able to compete with men in any spheres of their lives. You know, sometimes I sit and I see women who have worked so hard and they've not received any accolades for some of those work that they have done.
As if it's a crime.
Yes, I remember my principal and people who taught me in school, how hard those people have worked, but nobody's recognizing them. I also look at women in the morning, you see them carrying their market on their head, and they walk miles, you know, just to sell and have things that, you know, they will bring back home and look after their kids and, you know, ensure that the home is up and running. And those women come back home and they are in a situation where nobody is appreciating them and they are suffering, you know, from, you know, their rights have been violated from somebody who do not want to recognize that this is a hardworking woman.
You know, sorry to interrupt you. I just done a program not long ago. By the way, let me remind you again, go and subscribe, chat with Nenneh Alice on YouTube. If you are all on here today, imagine all 20-something people on here today plus Facebook. Imagine if you all subscribe. you make a big difference. That's going to help her to build up that audience as time goes on, and the quality of content she's bringing out as well to all of us. Follow her also on Facebook. Go and follow her page. She's doing a great work. And I am also on Facebook, Practical Talk with Florence Simon, on YouTube and on Instagram. You can follow us. I just done a show about appreciation, appreciating someone when they are alive. And people from African and Caribbean backgrounds, we are so good at celebrating people when they are dead. We are writing long eulogies, crying. Why have you not cried when the person was alive? Saying thank you. It goes a very, very long way. Appreciating husbands, appreciate your wife. Sometimes we see the negative more than the positive. You know what appreciation does? It makes the person want to do more. That small thing, that I know for sure, for both sexes, you appreciate you give somebody
flowers.
Yes,
when they're alive.
When they are alive, let them smell it. Say something nice, even if there is a negative. Sometimes focus on the positive, because none of us are perfect. Well, most times it's like you said, nothing.
And let me also tell you that people wait for certain days to appreciate people.
They
For
don't
example,
wait for
Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, Women's Day. They wait for that for those special time to appreciate people. And for me, I'm not of that view. You can celebrate anybody at any time and be grateful. I'm very big on gratefulness, I do not like ungratefulness. That's why if I know that Flourish, you and I have been friends for a long period of time, I want to be very grateful and be loyal to you, But in this world that we live now, people are so much disloyalty and deceitfulness, even when you have been friends with this particular person for a very, very long time, just some fickle thing can just switch off that relationship.
It's the world in which
doesn't make sense in any shape or form. But I know we have people who are very grateful, and I try very consciously, to be very grateful to people who have been very kind to me.
So maybe in your place of work, tomorrow is Thursday. Yeah. When you go in, just say thank you. Thank you for, even to the cleaner. You know what? If the cleaner never came to clean, you won't be able to sit in a clean and a refreshing environment. So everybody is valuable. Yeah. Everybody is valuable. Even that woman selling that fry. Fry is our condiments of snacks that people get to buy at lunch. For somebody that might be wondering, everybody is valuable. That woman is carrying that child behind them, and they are standing, selling some fruits just to get 1 meal a day. Yeah. Appreciate them. Wow. Zaina Binta, thank you so much. She says, very true, on point, Alice. Our unpaid work should be acknowledged. Thank you, Sister Annie. Finda Quera, thank you so much. She says, sisters, please encourage women not to pretend that all is well. When all is not well, I love this. Our strong women should not die in silence, just in the name of saying all is well. You know what? I wrote a book. I just, by the way, get my book on resilience. Part of showing your strongness, thank you, my multimedia. Part of showing that you're strong, you still have to reveal your weakness sometimes. Seek for help. And again, we are common for this, Afro-Caribbean and Asian people. You will be there suffering. You are being beaten. You are suffering. You are going through depression and stress. You don't come out. Times have changed. My sister, please come out. You don't need everybody. Abi, you don't need to put your business on the market, but there will be someone. There will be someone. Please do not die in silence.
Things that I normally say, everybody needs a confidant. You need somebody to talk to. And that is what we, in the societies where we are coming from, in the African society I'm very familiar with. So because you fear that if I confide in Floris, for example, she might explain what I have said to her to another person. And so we are also much afraid, to find this very, very special person that we should be talking to. Every one of us needs a confidant. When you have a confidant, you share, you talk, you vent, Even though sometimes some of those conversations do not concern that particular confidant, but you have the opportunity to vent, and that's in itself is a therapy. So please provide a shoulder for somebody who needs somebody to talk to. And if you don't talk, if you don't break the silence, you'll be there. And at the age you die and leave your kids.
Don't die.
All you've worked for, you will die and you will live. And like my auntie normally says, you will die now, you lost. So I don't want to lose, and I want to enjoy my life, and I want my kids also to enjoy some of the things that I have worked hard for. Those little souvenirs of life. For example, if you do something and somebody say, "Oh, thank you very much," they give you a card to express thank you. It's something that should be worth noting. If somebody gives you a gift to say thank you so much, Alice, you've been well. For me, I take note of that. I keep cards, I keep souvenirs, things that people give me. You sit and you look at all of those and say, so many people have been appreciating me, and you should be thankful for that. You should be thankful, and you should be very, very grateful for life.
Wow. And thank you, Zainab. The contributions are coming in. It says one's ability to talk about their pain is a sign of strength. Thank you so much, my sister. But as Alice says, let us open our arms. And you know what? And again, some of these things is common in our communities. Some of us, we have the pulling down syndrome. When your fellow human being is already down, that's not the time to glory over them. That's not the time, because one day your own time of downness is going to come. And the Bible says, what we tell you, you're standing on your own. You need people. We all need people. So please, women, in this case, women and men, because you have some men who are suffering as well. Men don't suffer in silence. Times have changed. Talk to someone. That does not take your pride off you. Don't die in that struggles that you're having. Wow. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's going to be her birthday soon.
Yeah.
So this holiday, you've utilized it so very well. And, viewers, I just want to say thank you. I don't know, what's the last thing? Is there any last word you want to give to our viewers? Because if we sit here, the conversation will just go on and on. Maybe when you get back to Sierra Leone, we might do a part 2.
Yes, I will. I will try, and let's do that. So, viewers, my last words are these. Please be of support to another woman. The thing of women supporting women, some people do not believe in it, but I strongly believe in that. And I know as women, we have our challenges that our male folks will say women are too, they like confusion, they like to disagree amongst themselves. But for me, in everything, you have your pros and you have your cons. So those are some of our cons, but we will work to overcome and transform them into the positives. Please support one another. Provide a shoulder for a friend. If somebody needs you and the person reached out to you to talk to you, please be able to listen and provide a helping hand if you can. And also, don't give up on another woman.
Don't give up on another woman.
Don't give up on another woman. Yeah. And I don't smile a lot because I don't know why. But I know peace begins with a smile. So now consciously I try to smile. So please smile and enjoy yourself. Enjoy life. Life is a beautiful thing. If you enjoy it, you really, really have the kind of pleasure that you're looking for.
Yeah. And maybe some of you are watching, for example, me for the very first time. It's easy to see someone on screen. There was a time in my life when I almost gave up. Coming to this country in Europe, just at the prime of my life and in my marriage, my husband dying and leaving me with two children. As we have one here now who is 19 and another one 17. It's taken grace when we were talking about resilience earlier on. So everybody's situation is different at certain times. But I want to encourage you. I'm a living testimony. I'm sure Nenneh Alice has gone through her own challenges. You have gone through your own challenges. We're all living testimonies. Let's not give up. Thank you so much. Batilo Sandy says, I think you have such qualities. That's why I sometimes confide in you, even in my quiet moment. I think before making decisions. Thank you, Christian Samura. Happy birthday. in advance.
Thank you,
James
Christian.
says, well done, my CEO, Chaplain Alice. Thank you so much, Finda. Guys, who can be here for such a long time and not end up this conversation. Please be encouraged. Thank you so much for all the work that you do. And you know what? I live in the diaspora, but my heart is always in Sierra Leone. I don't want to know whoever is sitting there or not, but I pray by virtue of my authority as a pastor. The Bible says, pray for those who are in authority so that they will make good decisions. Now you're waiting for some bills to be passed. That's why we are praying that God just touch the hearts of those who are ruling in the nation, that they will make decisions that will profit the citizens in the land. And we pray, we are not giving up on Sierra Leone. We pray for the rights of the citizens. We pray for the medical system. We pray for the educational system. We pray for, even in the faith sector. Sierra Leone is a beautiful place where people just live and do things freely and happily, regardless of the war that we've gone through. Everybody has displayed resilience, So please, let us love one another. Thank you for what you do.
Thank
and
you.
I pray for more grace and more strength, wisdom to empower and educate. And your beneficiaries will continue to benefit more and more. Amen. Nancy Tommy says, Auntie Alice, who said the customer live there for the birthday? She's having a boat party. So check her Facebook page. For those of you living in London, please check her Facebook page. She's having a boat party. Go and buy your tickets. Let that be a nice time out for you. Check her
come
Facebook
and let's
page.
hang out.
Yeah, if you're living in London, go and have a nice time. The weather is beautiful here, just like Sierra Leone. So she's not missing anything. Well, thank you so much, viewers. Multimedia, please take us through our slides. Thank you so much, viewers.
Don't forget to subscribe to Chat with Nenneh Alice.
Go and subscribe.
On YouTube, it's Chat with Nenneh Alice. Facebook, Chat with Nenneh Alice. Instagram, Nenneh Alice. Twitter, Nenneh Alice.
Yeah, we need to build
TikTok,
and support
Chat with Nenneh Alice.
one another. Thank you so much, everyone, for taking your time. Those of you in Sierra Leone, wherever you've joined in the universe, we say thank you, thank you, thank you. May the Lord keep us all, and may the rest of your week be blessed. So thank you so much. I am on Facebook, Practical Talk. I hosted Nenneh Alice today. Thank you so much. Please follow my Facebook page, Practical Talk with Floris Lyman. I didn't get time to introduce myself. I am an author of 2 books. My books are on Amazon. I launched the last book in Sierra Leone. Don't judge me, I'm a single parent. Again, that will be another topic for us to talk about, the stigma surrounding single parenting. Oh my goodness, I'm passionate about that. Don't just see somebody and just judge them just because you see them pushing or carrying babies. You don't know their story. But yes, second book, the book on resilience, by the grace of God. If I come back to Sierra Leone, we will let you know about the launch. But also, I'm on YouTube. There is a faith aspect of my YouTube channel where I share and encourage God's word. And yes, thank you for joining us. God bless you and have a blessed week. We say bye-bye.
Bye-bye, viewers.
Thank you.